Hello and welcome back. Okay, as you can see, this wisteria is getting a bit out of control now. So I'm just going to prune it back a little bit, just so that, because it's kind of, as you can see, it's getting massive. It's shading out a lot on the benches. There you see it has got flowers on it, which is nice. So yeah, there needs a little bit of weeding as well. Let's get rid of some of these weeds and we'll give it a pruning back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take back some of the branches, maybe not all the way, well, this one I suppose I can, but just enough that we can start to see a bit more of the flowers, and it's not shading out all the rest of the benches. Like little ones like this, maybe we'll leave that one. These ones that are growing kind of upwards we'll get rid of. You see it's kind of leaning forward, and you can see there's not a lot here on the back, it's all growing towards the sun. Take off these ones that are growing in towards the trunk. What we'll start with is take off all the ones going up, straight up. Too long, get rid of them. I don't want to take off all the leaves, I still want it to look a little bit nice like, so we'll leave some on, get rid of others, or just reduce them back. There are more buds at the back, at the base here, for next year's flowering and stuff, so that's where it'll come from next year probably. Maybe I'll turn it now face the back to the sun for a little while and get a bit of growth at the back. Out at the top, there's a lot going on. Take out that one, take out that one. You can just about see the fly got in here now, so he's going to be annoying me till I get him out. I think that's pretty good for now. Like I said, I didn't want to go prune it right back and leave it bare. I just want it just a bit under control. So it's not shadowing everything out. That looks kind of okay. It's kind of light now. I like getting into it. Take off a few more of these up here, a little bit more. Like down. Okay. Still looks kind of a bit nice anyway. Okay, so we're just getting rid of the weeds. Tweezers. So I was kind of worried about it in this pot. Would it be? It was in a deeper pot, much deeper pot. And I used to keep it in a basin of water. But it seems to be doing okay. But what I have done is I've moved it onto the kind of ground, not under my benches, but in front of my benches. So it's kind of sitting on mulch, so it's kind of cool down there, and the mulch presumably is keeping the moisture more in the pot. It's not drying out like it used to. But I keep my eye on it though. If I find it is drying out, then I will I'll just put it in a basin of water, a shallow tray or something. So it's kept moist, but it seems to be working, keeping it in the mulch, bark mulch. Just clean up this a bit. Okay, so I'll clean this off, and then we'll have a look at it, and then we'll that's more or less cleaned out now. I'll put it out and we'll go and get our next tree. But you see that now, it's a lot thinner. You can see the flowers. You couldn't even see the flowers, even though they're nearly finished now. But at least we can see what's left of them. So it's doing well since I put it in this new pot. It seems to be doing okay. So let's dig it out and get in our next tree. Okay, so the next tree is this birch. This was a air layer I took off my bigger one. And I put it in this kind of slanted bowl. I don't know why. I think I decided to have it. It was a kind of a slanted tree. I don't know, would it have been better with it upright, but anyway. This is what it is now. So I'll have a look at this and maybe give it a bit of a pruning back, try and get it to branch out a bit. I know these guys do like to drop branches, so I'm not going to go again too crazy on it. I'm just going to kind of prune it back a little bit, just again because it's starting to really grow out and on the bench. I think we'll take the apex back to here, give a little bit of a dye back, and that's about it I think for this guy. Let's take a couple of them leaves off there maybe. Yeah, I'm not going to do much more with that now. There's a couple of little weeds in here we can get rid of. But that's about it for that one. Need to give it a watering, but I'll be watering all of my trees in a minute, so I'll move that out of the way a minute. We'll bring up another one, which is this birch that I was out doing a job. It's And you might have seen this tree as I was doing a job on a boat, and the boat was sitting on a trailer, and this guy was jammed in underneath the trailer. There's a nice bit of movement down the bottom here. I just had to pull it out from the trailer and it cracked the roots a bit now, but it was going to be certainly dead if I left it, so as you see it's recovered anyway. But my thing now is, it had this really twisty bit of a trunk down here, I don't know if you can see that there. It's kind of got a nice little twist of a trunk, and it has this heavy bit coming out this way, which I just chopped it all back, but it seems to have sprouted it all around the top of this, where it was twisty. So I was thinking, would I grow a very small little tree out of it? Yeah, it's hard to know. Should I chop it right back and just keep this bottom bit as a little it does look a bit strange having this kind of twisty trunk and then it just comes up straight here. So I'm thinking that maybe I'll chop this off completely, this whole top. Take this off and grow this as a little tree. Let these grow on, thicken up. Yeah, might be an idea. Another idea would be to air layer this off. Could just air layer that off. But do I need another tree? That's the thing. Decisions. I think I'm just going to cut it off. I don't really need another tree, and I will stick it in a pot. I have a pot with cuttings in it, and if it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, then it doesn't, but I won't go through the hassle of air layering it all and all that kind of stuff. And then I can concentrate on growing all these branches down here. Yeah, I'm going to have a think about it. Okay, I think I'm going to take it off. Looking at the tree, to get the best out of a twisty trunk, I would have to have this as the front, which would be that way. Which means these branches are all kind of in a line and it's all dead straight from this angle. Or if this was the front, it's the same thing. And there's very little taper, if any. This is quite heavy up here. So I think, and I do have 3 or 4 other birch trees, so maybe I'll take this off and just see if I can get a nice tidy little small tree out of it. So we'll go with that. The branches up here are not great anyway, so okay. So I'll come in here as kind of low as I can, and then we'll nibble it back. I'll get the best read now. Over here, I think. Do with a pair of them ratchet and pruners. The ironwood ones that Tom and Nigel use. Wow, it's tough. Okay, there it goes. So like I said, I'll stick that in as a cutting. I'll prune it back. If it grows, it grows. So now we have this wound here, so I'll just clean this up a bit and then we'll put a bit of wood sealant on it. it back a little bit. Okay, really like that box tender. Let's pull off it. So I'll put a bit of sealant on it. And I won't prune any of these branches. I'll leave them because I'm not sure if this might die back a bit and it might take out one or two of them. So we'll leave it. Just let it grow this year. And then we'll decide when they harden off like this one is. We can decide then which one, or two or three, we want to keep. And build our tree from that. Okay, so at the moment looks a bit of a stubby little bush, but like I said, when the branches lignify like this one, we'll give it a pruning then, and we'll decide which ones and which is going to be the front. As far as I remember, there's a bit going on with the roots as well, so that might we might be lifting it next time we pot it, so that might decide as well on which way we're going to have the front. So, okay, so let's get in our next tree. We'll put these two on back out. Okay, next tree is going to be this Chinese elm, root over rock. Again, this was just one of these ones you buy at the kind of horrible S-shaped trunks, commercial ones. But I took the top off it, I laid the top off it, so it made it more just this part turning and then straight up, and then I grew the top. It did have another kind of a wiggle on the top, so we got rid of that. So it's a good way if you do, like, you can buy these quite easy enough, but they're all these horrible S shapes. They make them really kind of unrealistic looking. So like I said, what I try to do with them is chop the tops off or airline the tops off. A lot of time airline is a good idea because you get a nice little tidy little tree out the top, and then you can create something that doesn't look so bad, so S-shaped. This just looks like it has a bit of a curve in the trunk, and then the top of it is I grew kind of as it is. The roots were terrible on it, so that's why I planted it on top of this rock. You can see the kind of, it's well wrapped around this rock now. It's bone dry, needs watering. We've had rain today, but not enough to water the trees, just keep showering. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to give it a hedge pruning basically. I'm not going to do a lot to it, just hedge prune it, get it all neatened up. We can, when we have more time, I'll go into more detailed pruning. And what I do a lot of the time with these is I hedge prune them, and then I go in afterwards and I divide up the pads a bit. But for this one, I'm just gonna bring it back because it's getting quite out of shape at the moment. I don't normally let my Chinese elms get this bad. I'm just long in the way. It's just not having the time to keep on top of all my trees, so some tend to grow a bit more than others. But once I do this, at least it'll be under control a bit, and then at a later stage we can look at a more detailed pruning. This kind of works with these anyway. It's just you're going to have a few crossing branches and things, but you can sort all that out, like I said, another time. But look, any pruning is better than no pruning. Like that, if you're a beginner and you have a Chinese elm and you don't know what to do with them and they're starting to get leggy, just keep pruning them, because otherwise these will just keep getting longer and longer, and all the ends you'll be going to the ends, and all the end will be full of leaves, and then this will be just a long branch with no leaves on it, so it'll just die back. So don't be afraid to prune it. Don't think you're harming the tree, you're actually helping it. And even if it means if you don't know exactly what you're doing until you find out, just prune it like you would a hedge. And then when you've watched how to prune them properly, I've done a few videos on pruning Chinese elms, then you can go back in and do more detailed pruning on them. I've done quite a few on Chinese elms videos, especially recently, so that's why I just want to hedge prune this one. Maybe off camera I will do a bit more detail work on it, but I'm sure you don't want to be watching me do another Chinese elm. These are not blue scissors, but they work pretty good. Spider webs on my trees. Spiders love my trees. No, are they good for them or not? Probably are. Presumably they keep away the other bugs, ones that are good for your trees. Okay, so I've kind of got that roughly into shape. Again, I just hate looking at them when they're all out of shape, because I know they need pruning, and I keep thinking I've got to prune that tree soon. So at least now this can sit on my bench for another couple of weeks while I'm working on other ones. That looks kind of tidy enough. Like I said, to do a proper pruning in it, I would go into it now, I would separate each branch and I would create individual pads, get rid of all these crossing ones, things like that. Up here where it's all kind of one big long pad, I'd have that all separated into different heights, take out bits, create more gaps and things. But just for now, see just that there now, just creating that little gap in between the two pads so it's not all one big pad. See here where it's closing in on each other, You just chop that back, chop this side back like that, and then you have another gap there. That just helps it make it more miniature looking. And like that up the top, just go in and pull out some of these ones that are crossing each other, so you're creating gaps for light to get through, and like that just makes it a little bit more miniature looking. I said I wasn't going to bother doing this, but I'm ending up doing it. But just give it a quick rough one. Okay, so that's pretty much okay. I can go back on the bench now and I can look at that without it annoying me. So you can create a kind of pretty decent tree out of the commercial S-shaped trees. You just need to take one of the S parts off. I think you can leave one bit, but don't keep the second bit. Layer it off, and then it ends up with just one kind of bend. So, okay, I think that'll be it for this video. I've gone on a bit much already. So, as always guys, don't forget to like, subscribe and share my videos if you can, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.